Hello, beautiful friends. It's LeahMarie here with your weekly 3-card oracle reading. Pick a card. And this week I'm bringing you cards from Native Spirit Oracle deck, which is a really fun nature oriented deck. So, a lot more indigenous energies, animals, directions, ancestors, which we do a fair amount on the channel here just because it is one of my areas of specialty. And even though in the Northern Hemisphere here, Mother Earth is resting right now in winter season, that doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of words being spoken energetically from the natural world to us here as beings. I have mentioned that in a few of the other readings. Now is like this time of inner reflection, but also really coming into a space of being in the stillness and listening to the rhythm of Mother Earth, feeling that rhythm in your heart and your soul and what it wants to express to you in this season of your life. So I invite you guys, as I always do, to bring your awareness to your heart center at this time. Take a few nice breaths, consciously bringing your awareness to your heart center in order to tap into your own intuitive guidance as to what card or cards are going to give you the message that your soul needs to come here to receive today. So you all came here for a reason. Maybe you knew it consciously, maybe you didn't. Maybe you will have more clarity and maybe you won't, as it works sometimes, is that we can come to things and sometimes we get answers and clarity, and sometimes, ooh, those are our next two. Sometimes we don't. And so, really, just being open to coming here to have an experience, whatever that experience looks like or feels like for you. And if there's any questions that you have, if you want to share or you want any information from me, all of that's in the description box below. So feel free to check that out. We have a great online shop that's open now for you to peek around onto if you're interested in crystals and herbs and other goodies like that. Give that a peek and see if there's anything that you're drawn to. And otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and start over here with card 1. So we have Grandmother Earth. So beautiful energy. And I love that we're getting this kind of interesting reflection that's popping onto the card there, almost as a little orb, which is fun. So Grandmother Earth energy. So we often speak about Mother Earth energy, which of course is the most general term that we use for the planet that we live on. And a step deeper in a more ancient vibration is Grandmother Earth. So it's not that it's necessarily any different on some levels, but what I'm really feeling strongly with this is it's this much more tender, richer, deeper energy of the earth that's coming through right now. And so I'm noticing the sun really being this incredible beacon of light that's coming forth, that's causing all of this beauty, the flowers to grow, and we're getting this great reflection of the colors of the flowers, and it's echoing back up here in the sky. And this feels really important at this time for you because it's this message of really sinking into the depths of your connection with the natural world around you. There's so much wealth and so much beauty that can be had when we are open to that. And so I kind of feel like it's this energy. I'm getting this message of like, our moms are the ones that are usually like laying down the rules and setting the dynamics for things. And more often than not, grandmas get to be the fun ones that we get to go run and play and do other things with that maybe our moms wouldn't do, or we're just, we have a different dynamic with our grandmothers versus our mothers. So it doesn't really matter like if your mother is still with you or even your grandmother. And I'm getting this like emotional energy right now where I'm almost feeling like tear energy coming through my eyes and my nose. So I'm also feeling this energy of the spirit of grandmother. So perhaps your grandmother has passed and transitioned and she's coming through with this card. I'm getting a very strong like emotional energy in my heart, which doesn't normally happen when I'm doing these, which is interesting, but it's this really strong grandmother energy that's with you if you've chosen this card. So whether she has passed or not, this is a sign to me that that energy is with you, that she walks with you, whether you see eye to eye, whether you are still in the physical plane together, this grandmotherly presence is with you, walking with you and guiding you to this really beautiful life, to this illuminated life, this expanded life where there's so much joy and so much beauty to be savored. And the energy of the grandmother as well is that which resides at the direction of north, the direction that connects us with our ancestors. And grandmother, especially grandmother hummingbird, teaches us how to savor the joys of life. And so this is truly what this feels like is happening. It's this energy of grandmother wanting to come forth to help teach you how to savor the joy in your life, how to find and see the joy, because there is joy around you, even if you're not necessarily seeing it very clearly. I assure you there is joy in all of our lives, or the potential for us to see it if we are open to that. And I do want to call out, even as I'm recording this now, the tree out in front of me, all of these little birds are starting to show up right now as I'm reading for this card. So I do feel if any of you have a strong connection with birds, or perhaps you have departed loved ones that come to you in the form of a bird, this is another message. Interestingly, this really doesn't happen normally with these readings where spirits of passed on loved ones do come through, but I am a medium as well, so I do communicate generally just in one-on-one sessions with people like this. But there's a very strong energy of grandmother coming through here, and in addition to grandmother, other souls that have been in your life, whether it's this life or whether it's past life, coming back to help you and to illuminate your path and to help bring you this sense of comfort right now. So, whatever it is that you're dealing with, they want to nurture you and hold you in this beautiful and loving embrace to let you know that you are loved, supported, and cared for, and you are by no means alone, even if you have been feeling lonely. So, this is the strong message coming through with this card today is Mother Earth, Grandmother Earth. They are all wrapping their loving arms around you and holding you and wanting to nourish you and bathe you in their love and their light. So I definitely would encourage you to get out, even if you're in the northern hemisphere here. Just it's chilly and snowy, I know. Get yourself wrapped up and maybe just go out for a little bit if you can't tolerate the cold real well. Just something to get out and actually breathe in the fresh air, connect with the sun if it's out where you're at today or in the days that come, and really allow yourself to feel that energy and that warmth of the sun. Even when it's cold outside, you will be able to feel this divine feminine energy embracing you if you're allowing and open to that happening for you. So I'm sending you so much love and light, and really encouraging you to connect with that energy of any of your passed on loved ones that are walking with you, asking them to give you a direct sign or symbol. Maybe this was that and you were already asking for that, and if it isn't, like, ask them to communicate directly with you any other signs or symbols to help you feel that their presence is with you, because it absolutely is. So sending you so much love and light for an amazing week. Take care. So moving on to card 2, we have Prayer Feather, and this is a really beautiful one, and I'm actually getting a resonance right away. My right ear started buzzing very heavily. So these prayer feathers are both the birds on this plane. I can see, or at least when I was looking at it, we've got what looks like turkey, eagle, hawk, and then some other ones that are hard for me to identify with the way that they have them depicted here. However, I'm getting that you're getting the support from the bird realm right now, and you're getting a lot of support from the angelic realm. So one of my signs when I get heavy ringing in my ears is angelic presence. And so that's one of the ways that they communicate with me, that it is their presence coming through very strongly. So with the prayer feather, it's about your prayers being put forth. So I'm getting this energy of you almost like whispering your prayers upon a feather and releasing it, or you're putting your prayers out there and you're finding feathers, and you finding those feathers is a way that spirit is communicating that your prayer has been received. And in addition to that, really just stepping into this space of your prayers, your intentions being incredibly important and powerful and potent at this time. I'm just feeling all of this energy. So, whether you want to call them prayers or whether you want to call them intentions, whatever you want to label your communication with higher realms, with your guides, if you resonate with angels, your communication with angels, however you want to label that, it's important for you to be doing that right now. So this feels like a very sacred time for you and your prayers. And it's almost as though there's this opening. So, what I'm really feeling is how this is really bright behind the feathers. So, it's as though there is this gateway open to you right now. And it could be based on your astrological alignments. There are times when we are open to different things in different ways based on our birth natal charts and the actual astrology that's happening. And so, if you're into that sort of stuff, definitely do a little of your own personal research. It's not my area of specialty, but I do offer some tips and insights on that. However, it's really best if you kind of look into that if that resonates with you. However, at the very least, this is a time where there is a gateway open for you, whether it's astrologically based or not. This opening is there for you so that you can step into a greater level of manifestation, a greater level of your prayers being heard and answered more swiftly, perhaps. So it's also packing this very dense energy where it's important for you to get very clear about what it is that you do want at this time so that it can be brought to you on the wings of divine messengers. So, whether that comes through signs and symbols in nature from birds, whether that comes through your dreams, whether that comes through direct messages to you from your guides, or an entirely different space. It could even come through dream time as well. That's a space that works really well for a lot of people. So do keep like a dream journal or a notebook or something handy in case that comes through at that time. So it's really this energy of you putting out the prayers on the wings of the feather and letting them come back to you in the time that is going to be best for you. So it's really about releasing it to the universe and letting go of any attachment in terms of how it comes or in the way that it will manifest for you. So often when we do put prayers out, we have very specific expectations about how we want things to happen, the time we want them to happen, the people, the place, we might give all of these details. So I do want to clarify, when I say to get clear, the message that the guides are bringing forth is it means to get clear with what you really want in your heart. And that doesn't mean that you have to get clear about every single little detail. It's get clear about the big picture of what you want and what you feel, while at the same time being open to the divine co-creating with you. And it's saying, cool, I know this is what you're asking for, but I feel like the divine has a bigger picture. So it's going to see things that you maybe didn't even consider that you would want, or ways in which you would like to receive it, but it's always going to give it to you at least how you want it or better. So it's important to see that if you get it, it's always going to be at least what you want, if not better. So even if you get it in a way that doesn't look like what you asked for, it will be an increased version as the divine sees fit for you. And so I do encourage you to put the prayers out, but to let go of things like the how, the when, the what, because there might need to be a specific process through which this occurs, or a particular set of occurrences that have to happen in very specific ways for you to get what it is that you need most, or what it is that you're asking for. And the important thing is to just to continue to remain in your heart, connected with this beautiful, glowing, powerful energy and the life force of the earth itself, to just trust that you're going to get what you're asking for in the way and in the timing that's going to serve you best. And I say this because that is the greatest way for you to manifest in the most powerful ways, without getting hung up on, well, I asked for this, but it's not here yet, and it's not here yet. And so you're just continuing to focus on what you don't have versus what you've asked for and what you do want. And so I will leave you with the nugget where I like to say, thank you for giving me, and then insert whatever it is I'm asking for. So you're thanking them as though you've already received it, which allows you to be more connected with your request, putting it out there and thanking them, while also releasing it and not thinking about it. Like, you release it, then go on to something else. Work on something else that you want to work on. Go out and take a walk. Go talk to somebody. Do something else. Because once you do put it out there, it's about putting it out there and then letting it go to be in the hands of the universe. So thank you so much for picking card 2. Sending you a lot of love and light for a fantastic week, guys. So then coming over to card 3, we have Flowing River. So this is really powerful energy, and so much to do with being in the flow, which I know can be challenging for some people, to really be in the flow of whatever life is bringing your way. You know, it's like you're popped in the river and you're in there and you're moving with it. And if you've ever been in a river and you've tried to swim against the current, you probably found that it was a really great workout, or impossible, depending on what class of river you were in at the time. So the power of flow, especially the flowing river, is really calling your soul at this time to relax into the flow of whatever your life is bringing you right now. It's about being in the deepest state of surrender that you can be in, with the reality that you're dealing with being what it is. So you're not necessarily trying to fight against it, but looking at what is in front of you and how can you work with it versus against it. So there might be certain things that you're dealing with, different aspects of your life that have been challenging you, that you're not sure how to navigate. And sometimes the best way to navigate is to kind of put our hands up and surrender and say, you know what, spirit, you take over. I'm going to go along for this ride. I have no idea where it's going, but I trust you, and I know that it's going somewhere. And I know that can be challenging because we as humans often like to feel this sense of control. We want to control the outcomes, we want to control how we do things, how it happens, the steps along the way. The reality is as we're shifting into this new paradigm on a global level, we are in less control and really needing to be in a greater state of surrender for more flow to happen, for more flow to come to us. So, something that I see consistently with myself and clients is when people do step into a space of letting go of trying to control situations, then what they're asking for actually comes through. Sometimes almost instantaneously. Sometimes it might take a few days or weeks. Timing is different for everybody. Point being, it's that if we're trying to death grip and control, it's blocking us from being in that flow. So you could be in this river, right? And you could decide to grab onto a log and say, nope, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here. I can figure this out. I can do this. Well, the likelihood of what will happen is you're going to hold on, and other things are going to come by. They're going to start whacking into you. You're going to start to get sore. You're going to start to get tired. And eventually, you're going to get so worn out that you let go because you have no more strength to hold on. Now, that is one way we can achieve surrender. I've been there before. There have been times in my life where I had to death grip until I had a forced surrender, because I was still in the process of learning how to surrender. So I also encourage you guys, like, it's cool if you don't totally know how to surrender yet. That's a process that the universe is literally encouraging you to practice right now. So see where you might be trying to control situations. See where you might be holding on to things because you don't want to let go for whatever reasons. Really assess what's causing you to hold on. What do you think or feel is going to happen if you let go? So that you can start to see some of the reasoning behind your behavior. And once you see that reasoning, you can choose differently. You can choose to write your own story about how things will go, or you can choose to see the reason why you're holding on and decide if it's worth that, because eventually you're going to be forced into a surrender. So, would you rather the surrender be on your terms, where you let go and you hand it over? Like, I mean, many people hear the term let go and let God, which is very true because there are certain things that are far outside of our control. And it truly is the best for us and going to be the gentlest, most efficient process for us when we are in a state of surrender in the flow. So, this is just really calling you to assess those areas where you might be trying to control. Let's say you pulled this card and you're very much in the flow. This could totally just be confirmation from spirit saying you are doing a fantastic job being in the flow. Keep doing what you're doing. You can get even better at it, more efficient, surrendering faster, being in a state of receiving more, because the more you surrender and you're in the flow, the more things can come to you, the more they can move and work through you, and the more efficient your life is going to feel. Abundance is. So thank you for the little interruption. Interestingly, the video froze at 21 minutes and 55 seconds. And so that number might be significant for somebody, in addition to the fact that I know 55 is a number, like repeating fives is indicative of change. So I am just popping in to close out because I was almost done with this card anyways, energetically. So I just wanted to share that I do feel that was very intentional, that it's calling to your life being sort of like your flow perhaps has been on pause, or it might feel like it's going to be paused as you're moving through change. So this might apply to some of you tapping into this card, because when that happens, it's generally spirit coming through with a much stronger message, especially with such a specific time. And so I do encourage you guys to really allow yourself to tap into the flow, even when extreme change might be coming your way. That can often be a more challenging time to do that, because when things in our life on a bigger scale are being transformed, it can cause us to feel like we don't have control over anything. So we're trying to grab onto control where we can find it. And it's not the time to do that. It's an even more important time to surrender, to be in the flowing river of life, because then spirit can take you smoothly on that new journey of change and transformation. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I do feel that is definitely important for someone tapping in here, that there might be a big change on the horizon, and that it's going to be really important for you to surrender. And if you're not sure how to do that, ask the divine to give you the ability to fully surrender to the river of life, to the flow of your life and your process, so that that can happen as smoothly and gently as it possibly can for you. So thank you so much for tapping in. And I am sending you a ton of love and light for your week and your process. And I am excited to see what flow and change is coming to birth new beauty in your life. Until next time, be well.